Good morning, you beautiful, bright stars. I am so glad you decided to start 2017 with us. So how many of you have ever wished upon a star? Yes. So today we're going to learn about not only how to wish upon that star, but how to make that dream come true. Because you see, in the big star galaxy of the universe, each and every one of us is a star. And it's up to us to make our dreams come true. As our children pointed out to us, the Christmas story did not end last Sunday. And in fact, the Christmas story took a long time, more than 2 years to unfold. What Luke tells us is that there were wise men in the east who saw a star and decided to follow it. A journey that would take them close to 2 years before they would lay eyes on the Christ child. What that story speaks to us is of the awareness that not only do we have these divine abilities that we give birth to at Christmas, but that we are also called to express those out into the world, just like Jesus did. As soon as he drew his first breath in this life, the Christ light within him shone so brightly that others were guided to find that light within themselves. And so I offer you a different kind of New Year's resolution this year. I hope that 2017 is the year that your resolution is to shine more brilliantly than you have ever shined, and to make all your dreams come true. How does that sound? Yeah. You know, we tend to think of resolutions as something you have to give up. I give up ice cream at least once or twice a year. I've tried chocolate. Yeah, that doesn't go very long either. Maybe a week. You know, we think of resolution as something, as resolving to not do something that we shouldn't be doing. But if you look at Merriam-Webster's dictionary, resolution, has another meaning. It's called answering. And so our resolution is about answering that call to be all that we can be. It is that impulse within us that pulls us forward into a new reality, into a new life, into a new consciousness. And part of what activates that call, that answer to that call to be more, we find through the 12 powers. So we've talked a lot since I've been here about the second principle of unity, which tells us that we are of the same essence of the source that created everything. And so that means that we are also creators. We are the creators of everything that we see, of everything that we experience, both individually and collectively. And what we use to create is what Charles Fillmore called the 12 powers. There are these innate abilities that we have. I love what Reverend Linda Martello-Whitsitt talks about the 12 powers when she calls them our spiritual abilities. And so we already have everything within us to make our dreams come true. We only have to follow our star. And so this morning, we begin to activate that wish through the power of strength. So strength is all about remaining stable. It's about staying power. It's about tenacity. So that no matter what's happening, you stay the course. When I think about staying the course, I'm reminded of a video I once saw, which had the Special Olympics one year, and it was the runners, and they're at the mark, and their little faces are full of excitement and enthusiasm, and they're confident, and they're strong. Their bodies are strong. Their confidence is strong, and the gun goes off, and they all start to run. And one runner makes it out to the front. And you can tell she's so excited and delighted that she can see the finish line. And then she looks over her shoulder and stumbles and falls. And although she is in pain and she is in tears, she tries to get up. And an amazing thing happens when she finds that inner strength, that tenacity to stay the course. The other top runners stop what they're doing, and they walk back to her, and they lift her up. And arm in arm, the top 4 or 5 runners walk across the finish line. To me, that's not only a story about staying the course, of seeing where we're going, of being tenacious. It also speaks to us of that inner strength that lies within us. That there is this power and this presence that lifts us up even in our most difficult times. That when we lose sight of where we're going, that there is still this spiritual capacity for strength within us that we only have to call upon. That there are always those angels around us to lift us up and to carry us forward. So it takes strength to make your dreams come true. Because there may be times when you think it can't happen. It's not possible. Things aren't lining up the way we want them to. And you have to be able to stay the course, to be tenacious. Another thing that I know about enlivening a dream and calling it into manifestation is to sensorize the experience. So that's the power of imagination. You see, it is the power of imagination within us that allows us to envision what that dream would look like, to see what it would taste like, smell like, feel like if we wore it. Many of you may not be aware, but over the last 10 to 12 weeks, leadership has been on an adventure of our own. We have been studying Mary Morrissey's Prosperity Now, and it's taken a huge commitment on the part of our board to meet every Sunday afternoon, to study the law of prosperity, to understand how prosperity and abundance works. And we've come together knowing that as we demonstrate what's possible in our own lives, we also shine our light for others to see what's possible in their lives. And so Mary Morrissey talks about this idea of sensorization, like getting a real feel for it. And so in the course of our studies, we've been asked to dream big. And so one of my big dreams is to walk the El Camino. I want to be able to go to Santiago, Spain, and to walk at least a portion of that journey. And my hope is eventually to walk the whole thing. And so I've been inspired to do this for several years, but like it really occurred to me that it was possible over the last 10 weeks. Like I got this idea that it wasn't just a dream, it was a possibility in my life. And so I took great pleasure in sending my picture to all of my board members. I went into Dick's one afternoon, and I thought, let's sensorize this experience. And so I walked around Dick's Sporting Goods, and I found this really cool backpack. Like it looked really cool on. So I found this little day pack, and I tried it on, and I looked in the mirror. Yeah, it looked pretty good, especially with my leggings and my tunic. And then I looked over in the corner, and I found these really cool gold walking sticks. You know, gold, prosperity. So I get the walking sticks and I unfold them and get them the right height, and I'm standing there, and the little sales girl comes over and says, "Ma'am, can we help you? Is there something we can do for you?" And I said, "Oh, I am walking the El Camino." And I start walking, and she's like, "Okay." I said, "I'm part of this dream building thing, and I'm sensorizing my experience." She goes over to the other girl. She's a minister. And so I start walking around Dick's with my backpack on, and I found a cool little hat. And I'm walking. And I'm imagining the mountains, and I'm imagining the vista. That's sensorizing your experience. So we're going to do a little bit of that meditation today to start to take on that which your heart desires for 2017. To feel it, to embody it, to make it a part of you. So we sensorize our experience. We offer up tenacity to make our dreams come true. And then there's this thing that Linda Martello Whitsitt talks about, which I'm pretty sure is going to show up on my white stone, but we'll see. It's called audacity. I just like the way that sounds. Like, I can imagine as a little kid, my parents going, "Oh, that Glenda, she's precocious." And an aunt going, "No, she's audacious." Audacity. So audacity is about bold living. In Divine Audacity, Reverend Linda Martello Whitsitt writes that divine audacity is bold spiritual living. Living under the radical premise that I am divine. Under the radical premise that I am divine. How would you carry yourself differently if you knew in every moment that you were divine? How would you live if you were bold? So to be bold doesn't mean that you're not afraid, that you're not anxious. It just means that you move forward through it, in spite of it. You put one foot in front of the other. I had lunch with a friend last week, and she told me this story that reminded me of bold living. So there was a retired Navy person, serviceman, who decided that, he was kind of bored now that he was retired. And so he went to Walmart and got a job as a door greeter. Everybody at Walmart loved him. He was very kind, he was compassionate, he was very orderly and very respectful. So all of his co-workers appreciated him. All the people that came into Walmart appreciated him. Except there was one problem. He couldn't seem to get to work on time. No matter what they said to him, he just kind of showed up when he wanted to show up. So his 6-month review came around, and the supervisor's sitting down with him, and he's saying, "You're doing a really great job. People really like you here. But, you don't ever come in on time. Like, we never know when you're going to show up. So I'm just wondering, with your military background, how that's possible. What happened when you were in the Navy and you showed up late?" The man thought about it for a minute, and he said, "Well, usually what happened is they said, 'Hello, Admiral. Can we get you a cup of coffee?'" Bold, audacious living, right? Bold, audacious living. What would you do if you had the courage to do it? What actions would you take? What dreams would you dream if you were bold? A couple of years ago, going to Santiago was just a dream for me, because I had yet to discover my own audacious nature. Now I know it's a reality, that it'll happen, because I'm bold enough to do the things I need to do to make it a reality. So what bold action are you willing to take to make your dream come true? Strength, tenacity, audaciousness. And the last thing is realization. You see, nothing comes to us until we realize that it's possible. Nothing comes to us until we have an understanding of how great we are, an understanding of how powerful we are. Realization is part of our innate nature. It's part of that spiritual understanding that we have. Understanding can come to us as a flash, like suddenly, I get it. Or it can be kind of gradual and kind of grow on you as you take bold action. You begin to realize all that's possible for you. When I was thinking about realization this morning on the way over, I thought about when I came to visit you that very first time. I had this great experience, this wonderful interview, and you touched my heart so deeply, and I just knew when I left here that I would remember you, no matter what happened, that I would remember you, and I would hold you in my prayers, and I would think of you often. And I'm traveling down the highway, and I'm talking to Jane on the phone, and kind of telling her how things went. And there's this big billboard on the outskirts of Fort Wayne from Westland College. Now, for the life of me today, I couldn't find the picture, and I couldn't think of what it says. But it said something like, be all you can be, or dream big, or something, right? And I said, I gotta go. And I had to hang up, and I had to pull over the road, off the side of the road and take a picture of it so I could send it to her, because it was that flash of realization that it was possible. That's when I knew that I was coming to Fort Wayne. I saw that billboard, and I went, oh, yeah, this is where I belong. This is my tribe. Your dream can only come to you if you're ready to receive it, if you're open to it. You can dream all day long, but until it is the dream of your heart, like Cindy sang to us, until it is in your heart, that realization that it's possible, that it's your dream and it's real, that's when it comes to you. That's what makes it possible. Just as the star guided the wise men to the Christ child, we have within us an inner star, an inner guidance system that helps us to dream big dreams and helps us to make those dreams come true. And an amazing thing happens as we let our light shine, as we express strength into the world, as we express imagination, as we express zeal, audacious living, as we express realization, spiritual understanding, our light shines so brightly that other people begin to realize the light that they have within them. They begin to see through us what's possible. Well, if she can do it, so can I. As many of you know, I'm in recovery, and I got sober overseas. And so all of the people that knew me by reputation at home, or knew me when I came back in my early years of recovery, I left and was gone for quite some time. And every now and then, someone from recovery would wander into the doors of Unity of Evansville where I was. And it was so interesting. I'd be standing up and addressing the congregation, and their eyes would get wide with wonder and realization, like, oh, that's not, what? No. But by the end of the service, you could see this look of, oh my gosh, if she can do that, what can I do? The same is true of you. You have been called. And the answer is yes. The answer is strength, sensorizing, tenacity, audaciousness, realization. The resolution, the answer to your dream is you. So shine, baby, shine.